Científico revela que va a haber gran sismicidad en estos días. Checa el video.
Welcome to this planetary and seismic update. We're going to have a unique situation in the solar system with a grand conjunction with the Sun, Jupiter and Uranus. But there's a lot more going on the 12th, 13th of March when that conjunction is going to happen. If you look at the solar system here, actually first we'll look at the SGI graph. We see the red peaks on the 12th and especially on the 13th, and that is Mercury. And that tells us that Mercury is going to have a very important position relative to the outer planets. And that is going to happen on the 13th. And what we're going to have is actually a quadruple conjunction. So let's have a look at the solar system here. We see that there is a quadruple conjunction coming up with the Sun, Mercury, Jupiter and Uranus. So what we're going to have is with this grand conjunction that happens roughly every 14 years with the Sun, Jupiter and Uranus, is that Mercury is creeping in between. But in addition, late on the 12th, just before that quadruple conjunction is going to occur, we will also have the Sun, Venus and Mars in a conjunction. And then we have the situation that Mercury and Venus both are involved in conjunctions, and that will be a convergence on the 12th, 13th of March, and that may become quite critical seismically on our planet. And I will show you on the SGI graph later on, but first also look at the moon, because just after the planetary conjunctions have occurred on 12th, 13th, later on the 13th and early on the 14th, the moon is going to line up also with Jupiter and Uranus that were already in a conjunction with Mercury and with the Sun. And that's going to be critical. And if we look at the SGI graph again, following the high red peak on the 13th, we see the green peaks. These are the conjunctions of the moon, Jupiter and the moon Uranus early on the 14th. And I think that following that planetary and lunar geometry will make 14, 15, 16 March critical. Maybe the 17th if it arrives late, but roughly from the 14th to the 17th. And I would like to emphasize 15, 16 March here. There is the potential for a major, maybe even a great earthquake. If we look at the Sun, Venus, Mars conjunction, that happened in December 2004 as well, with the magnitude 9.3 earthquake off the coast of northern Sumatra. And if you look at that geometry, we see the Sun, Venus and Mars in a conjunction. We see Mercury, the Sun and Uranus in a conjunction. And also the lunar geometry, it was a full moon and the moon lined up with the Sun, of course, the full moon, Venus and Mars in a very short time. And then we had this magnitude 9.3 earthquake. So it is not the Sun, Venus, Mars conjunction on its own that can trigger these large earthquakes. It is a combination. And almost always it's a combination with Mercury. And in this case, as we've seen here in the solar system, Mercury is going to be between the Sun, Jupiter and Uranus on the 13th, just after we had this conjunction with the Sun, Venus and Mars. So it's the combination. And that makes it very critical. Again, my estimate is 15, 16 March. There could be a major, maybe even a great seismic event. If we look at atmospheric fluctuations, what we've recorded in the last couple of days is quite interesting, because we had a few large atmospheric fluctuations, but they occurred at the same time like clockwork on the 7th, 8th and 9th. Not